Hello, beloved souls. Welcome to a commentary channel. My name is Jem. I'm a psychic medium and an author of over 20 books available from Amazon, and I'm a channeler and a truth seeker. Now, all day I've been uploading similar content, and the title is Did I Die in 2020? Am I living in another timeline or still in a coma? A spiritual reflection. Trigger warning. This video discusses suicide, overdose, and trauma. If this content brings up anything for you, please seek support from a crisis service in your area. You are not alone and you matter. In January 2022, I took what should have been a fatal overdose. 40 by 150 megs of Lyrica and around 60 to 80, 100 milligrams of Largactil. That's 6,000 megs of Lyrica and potentially 8,000 megs of Largactil. I had chronic illnesses, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease from passive smoking, high blood pressure, GORD, which is like reflux, and a long-term meth addiction. I was 60 years old. Within minutes, I was unconscious. Everything went black.
This is a reminder.
Sorry about that. I have ALEXA reminding me every now and then, but I'm not going to go over the video. Where was I? Within minutes, I was unconscious. Everything went black. I was gone for 3 days. And I just want to quickly talk about that. When everything went black, there was no figure of Jesus. I had no near-death experience. I was just gone. Just gone. No ambulance was called. My husband, Rob, very ill himself, found me, but he didn't act. According to others, I mumbled things like, Dad's hurting me, and Mum. Flashbacks maybe? But I remember nothing. Just darkness. Then when I woke, I was unable to walk or talk properly. Somehow, I survived. And within a day, my mobility and cognition returned. There are 3 times in my life I should have died. Number 1, a severe car accident in the 80s. If you want more information, let me know, but basically, I'd had a row with my toxic parents. It was around Christmas, so I decided to leave. I had with me 3 children, and I took a developmental road, a road I didn't know. And the road went from bitumen to kind of a different type of surface, and I didn't change speed in time enough, and I overcorrected. The car rolled 3 times. One of my children was flung out of the windows as the car rolled. So all 4 of us should be dead. The police came, looked at the car. It was like a squashed tuna can with my son lying 500 meters up the road. And we We all got concussion, except for my daughter. We didn't have really life-threatening injuries, but my two sons were put under surgery to get glass removed out of their face. They slipped underneath their seatbelt. I had a broken arm. And the second time was pneumonia. Now, I've had pneumonia plenty of times in my life, and that probably else is what's given me COPD. But in 2012, I didn't know I was sick, and I landed up in Mossman Hospital. Then I was sent to Cairns Hospital, where that night doctors told me I wouldn't last the night. And number 3, the overdose in 2020. And I've also had other attempts at suicide. There's another thing, and this is a trigger warning. I suffer from a lot of different mental conditions, including anxiety, PTSD, and borderline personality disorder. And with borderline personality disorder, one of the symptoms is self-harm. Yet, after everything, I'm here. That brings me to a wild theory. What if I actually died that day? And this is a different timeline. In this version of my life, Rob, who died at 38, and one of my dogs, Jimmy, who died at 6, they're gone. Gone from my life, dead. But my surviving dog, Sahara, who used to be vicious, has completely changed. She's now gentle, loving, protective. Could I be in an alternative timeline? Or what if I never woken up? What if I'm still in a coma, imagining this entire life? I've had nearly every Mandela effect. The world feels different. Things don't line up. And lately, I've been conducting experiments with 2 different types of EMF meters. When I'm in front of them, both light up. They light up like a Christmas tree, facing me, twice now. And at the same time that this happens, my film on my mobile phone goes shadowy, misty, like something unseen is with me. Could it be another spirit? A spirit of the dolls? Rob's spirit? Another version of myself? A signal that I'm still between worlds? Maybe my psychic abilities, which began strongly in my 40s, are part of this awakening. Maybe they've been amplified since the 2020 event, because I passed through something and came back. Or maybe, as I wrote in my book, which is available from Amazon, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a menu for the game of life. What if pain, trauma, and even death are not punishments, but portals? What if what we call endings are really shifts in vibration to a level where we can finally understand the game? You see, I no longer fear death. I've been there. And perhaps, just perhaps, I've brought back a piece of another realm. If you've ever had a near-death experience, a spiritual awakening, or your reality feels different than before, you're not crazy. You're not alone. You're awakening. And let me just talk about the Mandela effects. I studied a PART5. I was in high school, my last year of high school, grade 12, 1978. We studied modern history, and we studied Steve Biko, who was a black journalist, and Mandela. They were imprisoned. So I know that they died in the 1980s. And I've got nearly every Mandela effect possible. I know, Luke, I am your father. In Moonraker, Jaws' girlfriend had braces. The Star Wars, he had a silver leg. Bernstein Bears, Jiffy, you name it, I've known them all. And it's not how I thought about this. How did I get my head around it? If I believed that Mandela died in the 1980s, yet my brain knows he died 2013, he was president, how does that work out? And I think it was because I was a drug addict. I was a drug addict from 2004 to 2021. And hear me out. Maybe when I committed the overdose in 2020, maybe a different person came back because I got clean in 2021. Because maybe that old Jem wouldn't have survived in this world. And I've noticed that my personality has changed. I'm not a nicer person. Don't get me wrong. I always was kind and loving and giving. I would give my shirt off my back if you liked it, because it said it didn't matter to me. A fire could come along and I'd lose it. So what was it? But the big shift in me, in my character, is my anger. And this shifted round about the time of the overdose. So before the overdose, I had two types of anger. Red, boiling hot, and the red rage I saw mist and sometimes was violent. Or I was ice cold, and as ice cold, I would think of the biggest, most poisonous words to hurt you. I haven't got that anger anymore. Am I still even the same soul? Am I really Jem, or is there someone else? Because there's a theory out there that some people, some souls, when they die, they don't want to die. They want to come back. What if during those 3 days I was unconscious, some other soul came into my body? How would I know? Yes, I have memories, going back to a child and things that had happened. But some of these memories, and they're shared trauma. My father abused me, but yet it doesn't affect me. Now, hear me out. If there was another soul that came into Jem's body, it would have access to Jem's memory. But because it never happened to Jem, it doesn't feel Jem's pain. I don't feel pain of all these traumas. I've had a really hard life. I have been so many times sex abused, and so many times my life threatened. And this lifetime, I hope, hear me out, if there is other times, I hope in that other time if I'm dead or in a coma, that my beloved Rob is alive and happy. And I hope if in that other timeline that Jimmy, my dog, is alive. Both died way too young. I should have died. I was 60 when I did these things. Rob, my husband who died, was only 38. Jimmy was 6. This is why I say to you, cherish every moment and love the best you can, because life matters. You matter. You might think, what's my purpose? Maybe your purpose is just to be. And yes, my book, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life, describes Earth as hell, but entertainment, and gives us a similarity that if we're watching a horror movie, we don't turn it off, we're entertained. Our souls are learning, and they're learning opposite and opposing forces. That's not to say your hurt and pain isn't real. I know, I've been there. I've been hurt. But every life matters, including yours. Thank you for watching. And please, if this has caused triggered, please seek help, because you do matter. You matter. Take care of yourselves and each other. Love, light, and blessings. And one last thing I want to say to the person beginning with P, Phil. Thank you, Phil, for your kindness. I'm okay. I do get emotional, especially when I think about the things I have lost. It's just so, we just take things for granted. Bye.